Pan-African Radio, 96.1 FM.
Okay, and we are back again. And like I said, we're having a very special interview with Phiri Inspiring Zambia. This is actually an organization that actually supports children, that actually supports girls and women out there who are actually facing period poverty. And we'll be having three interesting guests. One of them is Phiri Hans, who is the CEO of this organization, and we also have Thabo Imaseku, the content creator and operations, and lastly we have Juliana Mwabi. She is the finances, fundraising, and operations, and we'll be able to interact with them and find out more about these organizations. So if you've got any questions, if you've got any concerns, you can actually call in the number 077-3824-130, and we'll be able to interact with them. And unfortunately, they are in a remote outside the broadcast. So if you are able to send in those messages, we'll be able to actually send to them and convey the information, and we'll be able to give you feedback after that. Of course, 077-3824-130 is a number that you can actually interact with us. So basically, go in direct to these conversations, and please keep it locked at 96.1 FM. African Radio.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
From the outset, can you kindly share a bit of your organization and its objective? For I know it's Phiri Inspiring Zambia. That's the name of the organization. So would like to know a bit about the organization, the background of the organization, and of course its objective.
So we started this organization last year in June. Our main objective, so basically we're driven with a deep passion to help young people in Zambia, especially girls. We've seen firsthand experiences that girls and students in Zambia, especially in rural Zambia, go through in terms of, basic resources and how opportunities in education are quite limited. So our mission is just simple. It's to inspire the youth and, empower the next generation, because we believe we work with, these could be the future doctors, these could be the future teachers, the leaders. But if they don't stay in school, how can they achieve these dreams? And as an organization, we want to be able to help young people, girls, to achieve these dreams, to achieve their passions, their God-given passions, because we've all been given, talents and, where there's a God-given purpose on our lives. And we want young people to be able to walk in that destiny and not have it limited because of the environmental factors.
Sure. So you said how long has it been in existence?
So we started last year, so it's quite new. So we started last year just in the planning processes. Okay. So we're slowly building up momentum.
All right. So I'm still on you, Madam Phiri. How can you provide an overview of period poverty, its causes, of course, and its impact on individuals, especially the young girls, and also the community at large?
So period poverty, for people that don't know what it is, it's a lack of access to menstrual products, hygiene, education, sanitation, and waste disposal. So some of the causes for period poverty is stuff like economic barriers, where products are too expensive, or they're taxed, so that young girls are not able to access these products. And then also poor sanitation. Some schools lack clean or private toilet or disposable bins. This is also a cause, and also stigma. There's some menstruation taboos where girls feel ashamed or unprepared. I'll let Thabo speak more about it as well. If Thabo had,
All right. Maybe Madam Thabo, you can add up to that.
Yes, and just also the impact on individuals. For the girl, they'll miss about 2 to 4 school days per month. That can be up to 48 days a year, or even more, because everyone's different. And unfortunately, there's also use of unsafe materials like rags or whatnot, which can lead to further health risks on the girls. And also it can lead to a mental toll on them, where it can be shame, low confidence, low self-esteem as well, which can also impact on their character building and also in their school years too. And just on communities as well, girls can fall behind academically, as well as they can be reduced job prospects, and that just continues the poverty cycle all over again for girls, especially when they want to come out of poverty. You never know, this can be, as Faith said, a future doctor, nurse, or any other career as well.
Okay, so
But
Miss Imaseku, is it?
Imaseku, yeah.
All right. How widespread is period poverty in Zambia, and what are the most significant consequences for girls?
I'll say with consequences first, it is poor health, effect on their education, the mental well-being, and future job opportunities as well, because they're not finishing their schooling. And I also have a few facts on this matter. And 1 in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa, including Zambia ourselves, misses school due to menstruation, as well as girls may need up to 20% more schooling just to match up the boys and to catch up with the boys as well. And from figures, we can see the dropout rate is 2.7% for girls versus 1.80% for boys. That's within grades 1 to 9, which is a shocking figure.
Yeah.
Okay, so and still on you, Madam Tabo. What approaches and strategies does the organization employ to address period poverty among girls? And of course, how do you measure their effectiveness?
On this, we are hosting workshops. We currently hosted 2, and there's a 3rd school in planning at the moment, so we can get out the message to more girls as well as the teachers. We'll just educate them too. We do teach them about the menstrual hygiene, do hand out the pads that they need to help them. As well, kind of like we track the progress with their teachers, and they give us feedback from the schools that we've worked with, and they've seen quite a bit of an improvement from just us doing the workshops as well as handing out the pads. Like, they're more confident. They're not missing school as much now, which is brilliant. We want to cut down that figure to, I would say, so they are not missing as many classes as they do when they have the period. So they have more opportunities to learn. And also, like, just from word of mouth, more schools are knowing about our impact on these schools. And that's when we're inviting more to do these workshops and also spread the word to other people as well, so we can fight this period poverty together.
Amazing. And Madam Faith Phiri, when you, how has been the impact? I know for sure that even though the organization is new, but how has been the impact so far? And have you seen any improvement? What's in so?
Yes. So the impact is actually it's really good.
Yeah.
You know, when we started doing the workshops, initially we thought, okay, maybe we'll just hand out pads and stuff like that. But then when we actually said, you know what, let's actually teach young girls about how to look after themselves, how to make sure when they're on their period, they have the right understanding of what's actually going on with their bodies. Because, for example, for myself, I didn't know anything about how, when you're on your period, there's such a thing as PMS. So we want to teach girls, when you're on your period, don't feel shocked when you're feeling, upset, or you're just going through a bunch of emotions. So I think this has been very educational for them, but also for teachers as well, especially the male teachers. They also now understand more about periods. That way, when a girl is on her period, she can go to the teacher, whether it's male or female, she can go to the teacher and say, this is what's happening, I need support. And because of the workshops we have been doing, and because both male teachers and female teachers are in the vicinity,
amazing. Okay.
There's now there's more understanding we're finding, and also because we're buying not just enough for however many students, we're buying pads that can last for months and months. So if girls are on their periods and they run out of their pads, they can go to school and get extras. So we're really trying to do as much as we can for the schools so that they don't lack in education and also in the products that they need.
Okay, so Madam Phiri, how many schools so far have you gone to, and maybe approximately, I don't know, but how many have you, and what criteria do you actually use? Do you choose, maybe it's a government school or a private school or a community school? How is the criteria?
So what our charity is we're trying to reach schools in rural Zambia. We want to reach schools where they don't have the facilities to buy the pads. So we've got a team in Zambia that do the research for us, as we are in the UK. So we've got 2 schools that we've already done the workshops. We did one in Muchinga province, and then another one in Luanshya. The one in Luanshya was an orphanage, so we've done that one, and then there's another school that we are in talks with in Muchinga province again that want us to do a workshop as well. So we're really, it's small, but when you actually think about how many girls we're helping, you feel proud, and you feel fulfilled, because this charity is not just our work. This is God's work that we're doing. We're doing the mandate that the Lord has told us to do. So we're very pleased with the results that we have received so far. Even though it's a smaller scale, we're very happy, and we know big things are to come.
Okay, so I'm going back to Madam Tabo. I would like to find out, apart from the poverty, the period poverty rather, what are the most pressing challenges have you actually noticed, or have you noticed that girls in Zambia are actually facing, apart from the period poverty and stuff that you've mentioned, and how does your organization address these issues?
With child welfare as well, we are looking to a new project there too.
So as well as period poverty, we're also wanting to tackle the issue of child defilement. This has been an issue that we've been seeing a lot of, and our hearts really go out for young people that are being put through these experiences. So at the moment, we as a charity, we want to bring awareness to these issues that are going on. We want to be able to have projects or even workshops as well, where we can teach girls about the issue of teach them about consent, teach them what signs to look for, but also teaching them how to be able to speak up. We want to create a safe environment where they can speak up about these issues, and also we want to work with social workers, so that if a child does come up and say, this has happened to me, we can direct them to the right people so that they can get the right care, because sometimes you can arrest the perpetrator, but you've got to think about the lasting effects that is happening to that child, the mental, the physical. So we want to make sure that there is no lasting trauma in them. We want to tackle that trauma that goes with this issue.
Okay, so you've mentioned about engaging with the schools, the local communities, and the like, and some agencies, of course. So how has been the support from these side, from this angle of engaging local communities or schools? How has been the response from that?
So when we've been reaching out to schools, they've been very, very, very open, very welcoming to the ideas that we've had, to the point where we now have contacts with the head teachers. They always tell us, if you need us for anything, let us know, and the same with us. If you need us for anything, let us know. So the response has been very, very positive, as well as healthcare workers as well, just going to them and just asking for advice. How do we do this? What should we do? Just so we have a better understanding as well. I'll give you an example. So we have the issue of the period poverty that we're trying to tackle right now. So we want to give not just disposable pads, but also reusable pads. So we want to be able to make those reusable pads, but at the same time, we want to teach young girls how to make the reusable pads. But what we didn't know was you need to use a specific material that will not irritate the girls down there.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the healthcare workers giving us this information, we wouldn't have known that. And in going around giving, young girls reusable pads that could, make things worse. So we're trying to give as much information as we can, reach out to the right people. And the response, honestly, has been so overwhelming. It's been so positive. And that is what motivates us to do more, because people are not turning their back on us, including the people here in the UK. We're getting support from churches, if you need this, if you need that. Yeah. The response is really, really, really positive, and we're really so thankful. It's only God. Honestly, it's only God.
Amazing. This is very, very intense and very encouraging. And so I'll just go to Madam. I know for a fact to say whenever someone starts an organizations, they always want to see successful stories, and of course they would want to see the success of the organization, like maybe going forward and stuff. So can you share any notable success stories or impactful assessments that from your programs, and what do they reveal about your organization's effectiveness?
Yes, just from going back to the last two schools, teachers have said they've noticed a difference in the girls. They feel more confident and also more open about talking about their periods. We've created that safe space for also period education, awareness to fight the stigma as well. And we've noticed involvement from the male teachers as well. They're educated now, they're more supportive, and they're more open-minded and create a safe space for the girls too. But also, stories like this, especially involving the teachers or anyone in the community, can positively impact a girl. I'll give an example even of myself when I was a young child, about 9 years old, when girls just started having their periods. We did have an incident where a girl, she unfortunately didn't have a pad and she leaked, and the boys and girls saw this, and unfortunately due to the stigma they started making rumors like, oh, this girl's dying, or she's cursed, or she's dirty. And that really, I remember it really impacted her mentally, until one day the teacher said, right, boys and girls, let's go to separate classes. And this, I have to highlight, female teachers are so important in a school environment. Our teacher sat us down and she gave us like a talk about periods. It's a normal part of growing up, how to look after yourselves, and signs to look out for too. And also, being a young woman, she's like, you have to be very careful as well when it comes to the male gaze or whatnot, learn about consent and other things that we need to approach, like tell our family or our neighbors if we haven't got a female lead in our lives. And also on the side of the male teacher, when you talk to the boys, say it's a normal part of growing up. Please extend your grace to the girls. Don't bother them, just leave them, because even you have changes in your life too. All we can do is support each other. And just from that, it did ease a lot of our anxieties growing up, and also being more like period positive as well on top of that.
Amazing. And of course, Madam Juliani Mwabi, I know for a fact that you are finances, fundraising, and operations. That's your position.
Yes.
Yeah. So, can you share a bit of what significant challenges the organization faces in addressing period poverty and girl welfare, and how do you actually overcome them? For I know for a fact that you are finances, and you, when you talk about finances, it's money. Yeah. So can you maybe allude some of that?
Yes, so at the moment, we are having a bit of challenges, especially like with funding, because we are sometimes we have to try and get funding on our own, so we're having a bit of a challenge with, we don't have any, where we could, like support, like government support or NGOs. We don't have that kind of support, so we are mainly just doing it ourselves. So that is also some of the challenges that we're facing. Because if we had more support in the financial area, we would reach more schools and reach more girls in even in other not just the rural areas that are near the city, but even like far from the city. We could reach far. We could help girls, and also we're also having a challenge of collaborating, maybe like having resources, like materials or tailors, because we do have two types of pads that we are aiming for the girls. So one is a reusable pad, and the other one is disposable pads. So we want also to collaborate with companies, that are able to manufacture pads for us on a, that are affordable, affordable, but also with, good quality that we're able to distribute to young girls. And also where we could also collaborate with other companies that do, materials, like Shenga materials that we could use to make reusable pads. So all of that is a bit of a challenge for us. So we are definitely looking if there's anyone that would love to collaborate with us, the government or NGOs, even just sponsors, sponsors, we could have, sponsors, people that have got money.
Yeah.
Because, these things, we
it's
need
about
money. It's about money, so that we could help, girls, help and because there are a lot of girls that don't have access to this. Yeah. Even myself, I've experienced, once upon a time in my life where I didn't have, not like I didn't have access, but I didn't have the money or, the funds to buy pads. So I had to use, to Nyula or to Saru, and I've been going through that myself. It's something that we really need to, it made a very big impact on me. So we really need, people to, to step in and help us, because it's for a good cause, and
definitely,
to keep the girls in school as well, and not to make them feel like there's something wrong with them, or that they have to miss school, because children are our future leaders.
Yeah. So I heard about the successful stories that Madam Phiri actually alluded. So how have you overcome them? How did you maybe, let me say, manage to actually do that? Because you've already told me that that's the challenge, financial challenges. But how did you manage to go to even other schools and also, just put in that advocacy, and people have benefited, children have actually benefited, the girls have benefited. So how did you actually manage to actually even reach that far?
As I said, because it's a great, we've got so much passion in this project that, we have, we managed to do, bit of where we have like fundraising or like little events where we invite people and they, they donate the little that they have. And with that, we have managed to reach out to different, girls, schools and girls, and to organize certain events for them as well. So with the little that we are getting, we are managing to reach many people, but we would like to do more. So yes, but we are trying, and so far God has been good, and we have been getting there, but we would love to reach more if we had more funding, if we didn't have these other, these challenges, because we want to have, where we don't have to, where we don't have to where the funding is not that much, and you're not able to reach, a lot of girls and a lot of schools. So at the moment, we're just doing like maybe one school, one school at a time, but we would love to do more than just one school at a time,
Yeah, you definitely make it. Well. You definitely make it.
Yes.
Okay, Madam Phiri, Hans. Would like to know how do you ensure sustainability and scalability of your initiatives? And of course, what strategies do you employ to maintain long-term impact?
Yes, so we're focused on long-term change, not just short-term relief. So to make our work sustainable, like we said, we lead menstrual health sessions in various schools. And we also work closely with the teachers, like myself and Tabo have been saying, to break that stigma around menstruation, so that change goes beyond just the products. It's about the mindset and the dignity too. So that's why we're doing these talks as well. So for long-term impact, we use feedback from the schools that we've been serving. And with that feedback, we try to improve. So we will ask for feedback. What did we do? What can we do better? And from what we receive, we try to do better. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to growing the projects, we're trying to build partnerships with schools. So at the moment, we have the 2 schools that we've worked with prior. We've got a good relationship with those 2. So we're trying to build more relationships with various partnering schools. Sorry if you hear any child in the background. My child is running around. So.
Hi. Yeah, definitely.
We're also open to working with organizations, like Juliana has been saying, that share the same values that we have, to ensure that we tackle this issue together. So our goal is basically simple. Every girl should stay in school, learn with confidence, that her period will never be a reason for her to fall behind. So with this goal in mind, we're really trying our best to stay in touch with schools, with teachers, and reach out to various organizations to make sure that this dream that we have becomes a reality. It's already becoming a reality, but like Juliana says, we know we can do more, and by the grace of God, we'll be able to do more.
Amazing. And Madam Tabo, I'm on you now.
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to know, how do you advocate for policy changes, or should I say awareness raising initiatives to address period poverty and girl-child welfare?
Yes, with that, we do begin with educating the girls first. That's via the workshops that we provide as a team, especially our team in Zambia, and just also educating the teachers, the communities as well. In regards to the other one, our long-term plan is to obviously involve the government stakeholders and other organizations with the same vision as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to hear from the CEO herself. How does your professional background inform your approach to addressing period poverty and girl-child welfare? I would like for all the ladies to respond to this one. That is very important. So I'll start with Madam Faith Phiri. How does your professional background inform your approach to addressing period poverty and girl-child welfare?
Yes, so I have a degree. Well, I have 3 degrees. I have a degree in marketing. I have a degree in theology, mission and evangelism. And then my master's degree is in theology, humanitarian development and social justice. So with that master's degree, I have a very deep understanding on community needs, because it's something that I learned as well when I was studying. And I did a lot of community work here in the UK in my various placements and stuff like that. And I think all in all, I have a real deep want to help the vulnerable. Ever since I was young, I've always wanted to give back to my country, because this is the country that has made me who I am today. It's the country that has really the passion that I have for Zambia. I'm just like, I need to give back to my country, because I have seen my families, my friends suffer. Okay. And I've seen the needs that everyone has in Zambia. I want to be able to do something. So, I'm really blessed at the fact that I was able to do these 3 degrees. I think it was definitely God pushing me or allowing me to see his vision for my life. And seeing this vision become a reality, I'm like, this is definitely God. This is definitely a calling for me. And also being a mom to a girl, I'm like, if the things that I'm teaching my daughter right now, I want to be able to teach other girls, because I know maybe some girls, they don't have that motherly figure around them, or, you know, both parents around them. I want to be able to be that motherly figure, if that makes sense. Not me physically going there and, you know, being a mother, but I want to give what, you know, my mother gave me, and what I'm giving my child, I want to give to other children as well. Because if I have the means to give, why should I withhold that from someone else? You know?
All right. Amazing there. And Madam Miss Mwari, the same question goes to you, Madam.
Yes. So coming from a health and social care background, you know, it has made me, you know, to have like that empathy towards people, and also just having that, you know, having spent time living in Zambia and seeing the environment around me and seeing people that have, you know, that are not in the best places. You know, I've lived in, you know, in shanty compounds and everything. So seeing that, and you know, knowing that people that actually cannot afford, especially girls that cannot afford, you know, basic needs, because it's their right, but they cannot afford it. So that has really, you know, it ignited a passion in me to, you know, to help, to help. And also, you know, Zambia is our country. Like the CEO said, you know, we give back to our country. And, you know, this is where we come from. There's no place like home. So we have to start helping, or, you know, trying to you know, to fix our, you know, I'm not sure fix is the right word, but, you know, try to help and change. Yes, change is the right word. Change the way things are in our country, and that change begins with us. With a little that we can, with a little that we have, it goes a long way to someone who's not able to afford. So just speaking of that and having that passion, it's just what drives me, you know, and, you know, and it just what, you know, ignited that passion in me. And also coming from a health and social care, you know, where you have empathy for people, where, you know, where you can see that people are going through difficulties in their lives. So it has really helped me to get to this place. And I believe that it's not going to end here. It's going to, you know, it's going to go far, and it's going to be a massive thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
have you maybe, let me say, when you were a lady or maybe a girl, have you ever experienced where a person would actually help you in terms of you know, period poverty and stuff? Have you ever experienced that thing where there's sympathy for the state that you are in, or just that scenario where a girl passes through, you know, it all? Have you ever experienced it?
I personally have not really experienced that, and I've never experienced. I have experienced more like shaming, you know, because in Zambia we are taught to, you know, I've experienced quite the opposite of it. So because of that, I would love, you know, want to make a change. And, you know, in Zambia, you know, periods are mostly shamed, you know, we are shamed, you know, we are told to hide, you know, we are told to hide our periods, you know, when you're on your period, you don't tell anybody, you have to hide, you know. And that has, you know, and most of the girls, when they are on their periods, they hide it. They're not going to open up to say, I'm going through this. They will hide. And then also through that hiding, they will, not go to school. And also that hiding, when they're hiding that time, it opens up for them to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
To different things, you know. Sure. It opens, you know, they may open up to someone who may take advantage of them. So this you know, this project, and, you know, it has really, you know, ignited that passion in me to create a safe space for, you know, for the girls, you know, for girls to be able to talk about it, to be able to be open with their period, to say, okay, I'm having my period, I need help, I know I'm not safe here, but there's a safe space or there's a safe place where I'm able to run to with this issue that I'm having. So it is very important to me, and it's something that is in my heart, to be able to make that change. The little change that I can do into someone's life,
Sure.
it goes a long way. It's a big thing. Yeah.
Amazing. And Madam Tao, your stance on this?
I would first like to say I love Mother Zambia. I love our girls and everyone else out there. I would say my passion stemmed from overcoming my own challenges, especially within education. As a girl, at times people see us less than the boys or favor the boys more, which I've experienced in my high school, secondary school life, my college life, and in university. I initially studied product design within technology, and it's mostly male-dominated. I'm currently in IT as well, which is too male-dominated. And I feel we need to give those girls the opportunity. Something as natural as periods shouldn't be stopping them from going to school. And other challenges out there, we're already facing so much as girls, young women, in our careers, in education. I know from my heart, from overcoming these challenges, from passing my university, getting the job I wanted in a male-dominated field, and building my way up, that we can overcome anything. And we should also to dominate these spaces. We need more women in technology. We need more women in science and other careers out there. It shouldn't just be per se a male job or a man's job. Women can dominate these spaces. We need more female doctors to advocate for us. We need more female scientists, women that can understand us and our situations. We cannot let men overcome, dominate these fields and lead. We also do need these women as well, because we need a woman's perspective as well. This is why I believe we need to help these girls in school as well, and also build up their confidence and know the sky's the limit. They can achieve anything when they put their mind into it, and also trust in God.
Amazing. Okay, so recently there was a woman who came through to the station. She has an 11-year-old child who was actually defiled when she was 7 years old. The man who defiled the young child was actually sentenced to 30 years in prison. But later on, the woman actually met the man after a year, meaning he was released after a year. Yes.
Wow.
So she came through to complain about the same situation, because they did not do anything. The court did not do anything. She went on to go and confirm to the same prison, and actually confirmed to say the man was released. I don't know on what grounds. Okay, so she has been complaining to say the child is not well. She's disturbed. She cannot concentrate at school. She doesn't want to go out in the house, because she's so afraid of people out there. So now, as an organization, this question is going to the CEO herself. There has been an increase in defilement cases. So how does your organization intend to address this situation, and how do you advocate for it? How do you come in as an organization that actually has a heart for girl child, for women out there?
I think it's very important. Like, as you said, the child was 7 years old when this happened. Imagine the mental, the emotional, the spiritual impact that child now has. Like the mother said, she's not concentrating in school. These are the things that we need to be able to share with people. This is the impact or the consequence of these things happening. But also we want to reach out to the government and say to them, there needs to be tighter laws, tighter policies on such things. If you look in the UK, people are being sentenced to 20 years or, all of these things, and they will stay in prison because they're seen as a risk to young children. So we need to be able to push governments and to show that these people they're putting a risk to these young people, these young individuals. It's not fair. They can be put on the sex offenders list. So there's some countries where they have their own little compound of sex offenders. There needs to be tighter laws. There needs to be safety for young people, and this is what we want to share. We want to raise this awareness to say this is the mental or the physical or the impact that the children have, and this is what we want. This is what we require, because it's not fair. It's not fair. Hearing stories like this is so heartbreaking.
Definitely.
A 7-year-old, and the man is walking free. He's not on the sex offenders list. He was. You said he was sentenced to 30 years.
Yes, 30 years, and after a year he was released.
Out in a year. What is that? What is that?
And how is this protecting our girls as well?
Yes.
Not protecting our girls, and this is what we want to share. If we had the opportunity, we would stand at government, with government officials and share the statistics. We want to share the statistics so we can push, we can advocate for we want to be the voice to the voiceless, because no one is speaking up for them, and we want to speak up for them.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Faith Phiri Hans. And you are the CEO for Phiri Inspiring Zambia, Madam Juliani, who is the finances, fundraising and operations, and also Tabo Imaseku, the content creator and operations. So I would actually begin from just to end actually the interview. The organization is actually doing the most, because believe you me, I am a lady, and whatever you're saying it actually affects me as well. And I definitely not to say I went through some also hardship when it comes to period poverty. And of course, I'll just allow each one of you to actually give the close remarks. And I'll start first from the CEO. You'll be the last one to actually close the interview. So, Madam Juliani, you can actually give your closing remarks.
Thank you. So, the organization is doing, it's already doing a remarkable and work, and we're aiming for it to be much larger and reach more girls and end period poverty, and also hopefully in the future have a sit down with the government where we can change some laws and and have where girls can access pads, not only pads, but also information about, period. And hopefully, we can change some of these things in the future. And, we're already changing them bit by bit, but, and also, with the defilement that is happening, able, hoping and praying that in the future or in the near future we'll be able, to sit down and have, changes in policies in, the government and stuff. So we just, it's just thankful to be part of the charity that's making a change in Zambia and making a change in girls' lives, being a big sister, being a auntie, a mother, it's a great feeling, and it really makes my life better, and where you are able to sleep at night knowing that you have made someone happy and they are smiling. So it's a really really remarkable time for me.
Amazing.
Thank you,
Madam Tabo.
Yes, we are doing fairly well as well, and we do want to stop period poverty as well as sexual exploitation to girls. We want them to know they're safe. We want to protect them, protect our future on top of that. No girl should fear walking around. No girl should fear going to school, going anywhere at all. This is why we need our government's full support, police full support as well. Things have to change in order for a brighter future for our girls. And this change will come in the future. We're working on it, and we pray and hope more people can help. No matter how little the help may be, it's still help. If you're in a place of privilege to help, step in, spread the word of mouth, donate if you can, help with our charity, or even just challenge someone. If you see something's not right, challenge them.
Yeah, amazing. the CEO herself, your last remarks.
First, I just want to say a huge thank you on behalf of Phiri Inspiring Zambia, where we feel very privileged to share about what the charity is doing and the work we're doing to empower girls, to end period poverty, and to bring lasting change to our communities and to Zambia. We believe every girl deserves dignity, education, and the chance to rise above her circumstances. You don't have to follow the same cycle over and over again. You can change that cycle. You can break those, generational curses. You can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it and if you have the living God by your side. And if anyone would like to, learn more, to partner with us or get involved, please feel free to email us or even to follow us on our Instagram, because together we can really inspire a generation and build a brighter future for Zambia. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So you mentioned about Instagram, you mentioned about that. How can people contact you directly? I don't know. Maybe you can give out the name of the page.
Yeah. So if you'd like to email us, want to partner with us, you can email us. Our email address is faithinspiringzambia@gmail.com. And then our Instagram is faith, Phiri, PHIRI, and then _inspiring Zambia.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And of course,
thank you so much. It's been an honor having you.
Hoping to see you in person one day in the studio.
Definitely by God's grace.
God's grace. Thank you so much. It has been a very productive interview. We hope for the next one again.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Good day.
Bye.
It was so incentive, and of course that was so educative, and this organization actually reminds me of when I was young, and all in all that was so amazing. And basically I was having the CEO herself, her face, Phiri Hans, who is the CEO, and Tabo Imaseko, the content creator and operations, and lastly Juliana Mwabi, who is the finances, fundraising and operations. Thank you so much, ladies, for that interesting interview, and I bet you have gotten one or two things from there. And keep it coming, keep it locked, and you'll be able to interact. And of course, I've got several messages coming up, and please keep them coming, and we'll be able to give you feedback afterwards. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much to Phiri Inspiring Zambia for actually coming in on board and being open to the people out there. So we hope to see you soon, and we hope to actually have one of these interesting topics. So we continue with the show, and of course we'll be able to get into the next of the interview for today, and keep it locked at 96.1 FM.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There